Oh, Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening, everyone. It's your girl Simone, aka the Acolyte, aka Magical Me Cosplay. I'm here with my girl Teresa, aka Omega Level Threat Mutant. How you doing, Teresa? Oh, she's frozen. Okay, my girl is frozen. Well, she'll be back in a minute. We are the Moana Nui. Oh, I just lost Teresa. Okay, this is the Moana Nui Opinionated Variant 616, and my girl Teresa will be back in a minute. She had to reboot her computer. Thank you guys for joining, and later, within about 20 minutes or so, we have a special cosplay guest, David the Smiley. Amazing cosplayer, and we have some great questions for him. If you guys have anything to ask, you'll see he's just an amazing cosplayer. My girl's back. Teresa, Mega Level Mutant. How are you doing, my girl?
I'm good, but I'm just having some technical difficulties.
Okay, well, I know for a fact we both have been busy last month.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your first con?
No, it was not my first con. I have been to Dragon Con twice before. It was
Okay.
my first time going to MomoCon,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to get into that because okay, guys. So basically, what we talk about, because this is our universe and we don't care what you think, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's our variants. We like it. That's how we're going to do it. So we talk about movies, comic books, cosplaying, things that we buy. I'm addicted. Both of us are addicted to TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
She is my problem where she'll see something and I'm like, oh my God, I want to buy that. So sometimes I have to like stop watching her for a couple of days because she is very bad influence, especially when she goes to 5 and below. I'm right there behind her. And I right here got 2 bags worth of 5 and below stuff right here because of this woman right here. So
blow in a while.
Tell me what the first con, the MomoCon.
Uh-huh.
How did you experience that? Did you do that was it just 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? Did you get the 3-day pass? How does I've never been to MomoCon. How does that work?
I actually volunteered. So that you volunteer, you get entry into the entire con.
Okay.
And with me, I'm an introvert. So, it's not easy for me to interact with a bunch of new people. So what I like to do is I like to work an event so that I'm there and I'm in the mix and, I'm seeing everything and experiencing it, but I have something to do other than just, mingling with people I don't know. So I volunteered and I was able to go every day. So that was, well, not every day because actually I had to work my real job on Thursday, but I went for setup. On Friday, went for setup on Thursday, and then I went Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay. And did you get pictures with anybody? You volunteered. I know when people volunteer, they kind of have to follow guests, or they're put in charge of certain events? What is it that you did when you volunteered?
Well, I volunteered in the media relations department, and the director of the media relations is our own beautiful and talented Miss Dana. So I volunteered with her, and she did a great job with the schedule. We only had 4-hour shifts every day. So, and after we were done with our 4-hour shift, we could go and do whatever. So
And you
yes,
enjoy
I
the
did
time.
get pictures with lots of cosplayers and panelists, but also I got to kind of rub elbows with the talent because we were in media relations. That's where they would go to do their interviews, um, and to meet with the press. So all of the workers got the bonus of being able to take pictures and to be able to sit in on the interviews with the talent. So that was great.
Okay. And I know you set a budget and then you didn't stick to it. So what had happened? T- Tell me what you planned in your mind, that this is what I am going to spend, and then just at the end just say, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who you are. I'm spending this. So tell me what happened.
I actually did good on the exhibit hall floor, because that's where I thought I was going to lose it. Well, I did pretty good. Um, because that's where, I love t-shirts and
Hmm.
Funko Pops and things like that. But I did pretty good in the exhibit hall with the vendors. But where I kind of strayed off track was, of course, I had planned on getting a MomoCon t-shirt to, commemorate the occasion. But, I get there and I'm standing at the table and I can't decide which t-shirt I want to get.
Okay. So
So
how
I
many did
end
you
up
buy?
with 3 MomoCon t-shirts, a lanyard, an enamel pin, So I kind of blew the budget there after I had done so well on the exhibit floor. But, you know, if you know me, you know I wasn't going to come out of there with one t-shirt.
That's why I know. That's why I know. What about any cosplay guests? Um, did you get any autographs, any pictures, or you didn't bother to do that?
I'm not big on autographs, but I do like pictures. I like to get pictures with people and pictures of people. One of my favorite cosplayers is Jazz the Bat Cosplay. The first time I saw her was in her, um,
That's the
g
one with the wings, right?
yes, her
That's the lady with the
she
wings.
did a
Okay.
gender bent M'Baku
Okay.
from the original Black Panther movie, and that was the first time I saw her. And she does a Bowser cosplay too. And
Oh,
she's
okay.
she's very humble. She does these cosplay builds herself, but the first thing out of her mouth is always going to be, "Well, I'm not a professional and I'm not that good at this or that good at that." And then you see her costume and it just blows you out of the water. So, she had a booth on the exhibit hall floor, and she also did several panels. She was a cosplay guest.
Okay.
So, I took pictures of her in a couple of different cosplays. One of them was just,
I
y-
saw the one with the wings.
yeah,
That was amazing. That was amazing. And she had that lit. She did the lights.
I think there were lights, but I mean, she made that. Somebody did like the aperture for the wings, but she made all the feathers. She made
Yes.
all of the armor. It it was just amazing. And like I said, she's so humble, but and so sweet, but so incredibly talented.
Yeah, that's what I like, when they do cosplay guests, but especially the ones that I follow and they wind up coming. And that's the joy that I had, Downing. I got her book. Actually, here she is. She was one of the guests, at Comapalooza, and I follow her. I've always loved everything that she's done. And when she got there and I saw that she was coming, I was like, oh my God, you're coming to Houston. I'm finally going to get to meet you. And I almost missed her because I forgot. That's how crazy it was at Comapalooza. And that was Memorial Day weekend. I was running around doing everything. And then for some reason, and it was with the guest that's going to be coming on shortly, David the Smiley. We walked somewhere. I think he wanted to do the red carpet. And walking there, I saw her. And I'm like, oh my God, I almost missed you because that was the last day. And I missed her panels. I was just so mad at myself because I was just running everywhere. And it was crazy because that was my first con since my treatment. And I took advantage of the bald head. You see my hair's growing back and it's growing into gray, which trying to pay for money now that it's coming in the color that I've been trying to pay for.
Right.
So now I'm happy. I was like, I'm spending like freaking $60, $70 trying to get this color. Now it's coming back the way that I want it to come. But I took advantage of having a bald head. I did the ancient one. That was pretty cool. And then one of the prop that I had can chop off fingers.
I remember that.
I don't think I will ever use that again. I'm going to put that out into a chat room and sell it because that shit is dangerous, and I'm never going to use that again. I actually thought it was a 3D print that was just round, but it wasn't. It turned out that it has to spin, and I'm like, somebody is going to chop off. I literally almost chopped off my damn fingers. So I'm like, okay, we won't be doing that. But that was great, and that wasn't hot. Everything that I had, it was light. The only heavy thing that I had was my wings from Maleficent and the headpiece with the horns. That's the only thing I had to keep taking that off because my head was sweating. And then I had kids looking at me like, wait, she's Maleficent, but why is she bald? The kids was freaking out. So every time I took it off, I had to hide away from them because I just saw that their face, you know, they're like, wait, they were so happy when they saw me. And then when they see me taking it off, they're just like distraught. So I tried to take it off where I'm not with them, and I wipe it down and dry it and then put it back on. So those were the two. And then the Avatar.
The
Avatar one, which that one took kind of long because my girlfriend, who was also my handler, she's A-type like me, but at one point I'm like, okay, that's good enough, but it wasn't. And then she fixed it. And then when she went to do something else, it got messed up. So she had to redo it. And I was like, okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're going to just leave it as this. And I only did one arm with the arrow. And, but because the sleeves,
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
The sleeves were really long. So you only had, one arm, and it was great. I was like, I'm wearing my glasses. I didn't care. I had my glasses on. I wasn't putting any contacts in. I'm like, I just need to be able to take my glasses off and see my phone, because if I put in contacts, I'd have just been all messed up. But that one, all of the cosplays that I did was very nice, very light. And then I was just so impressed with the panel that they approved, and then they gave me a prime time. I was expecting Sunday at some strange time. They gave me Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
And I mean, Saturday itself is busy. That's like the most busiest day. So having this panel, we were talking. We had a lot of cosplayers there, and some of them weren't, because it was for people of color, but it was for really anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're a woman, if you are overweight, if you're a male and you're gay, or you're a lesbian and you're trying to do a cosplay, you'll have people who are attacking you. So we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that. We was talking about safety, for females who are going and trying to find a photographer for the first time, that they really need to make sure that they are not, um, letting the photographer just walk them away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then also to respect your photographer. And I know Dana, might have experienced this before, that some people are rude.
Mm-hmm.
They're just rude. They expect you to do a lot for them, not knowing that, one, we're doing this one for one. So
Right.
that means that I'm doing this for free for you. So update your portfolio so I can update my portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you expect me to give you all of these pictures, and you want them, in a New York minute. It don't work that way. If you pay for them, then you get them in that New York minute. But if you don't pay for them and you're doing a courtesy, I'm going to sit back and wait for my edits.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way that it is. So when you're taking your pictures, they show you the pictures. If you don't like it, reshoot that picture. It's a lot to to deal with. The panel was really nice. Um, we had a lot of questions, and Saturday my husband was my handler for the wings, when because and he wanted to be a part, and see the panel, and of course he had to come and ask a question.
I remember that.
Like, budget,
Mm-hmm.
sir, you know, you cannot answer that question. But he did ask a good question about that you do set a budget,
Mm-hmm.
um and then you wind up trying to, uh have to get different materials because something happened. So, from the time that I've learned and dealing with Warbler, it was crazy. First, it was you have to do two sides of the with yeah, two things of Warbler with the craft foam in the middle. Then I learned you only needed the craft foam on one and Warbler on one side. Then I just learned that just craft foam can be anything that you want. And I've learned how to, my Maleficent wings are craft foam. I've learned that I can make craft foam look like metal, wood.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Leather.
so I'm like, okay, that's perfect. And using her book, it's so many techniques that I'm playing with right now, and so many cosplays that I keep making. I have this giant list. I need to go back and do older cosplays that are still in the bucket,
Mm-hmm.
my bins that I have. It's an expensive hobby. I buy all of these props, and then I end up not using them. I need to go back, but it's squirrel, because you see new stuff,
Right. You see a new
and
one
and
every
you
day.
you want to, I need to hurry up and make that, and then you're off making that, and you're like, okay, I can make that real quick, and let's go back to this. It doesn't work that way. It
Well,
doesn't
you
work
will be happy to hear that I met with my friend who is a seamstress yesterday. She's doing some alterations for me, and I showed her some pictures, and
okay.
we're gonna get started on a cosplay.
Okay. And which one is that?
I'm starting simple with something that's just more of an outfit than that doesn't have a bunch of props. Um, but I don't really want to give it away right
Okay.
now, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
will tell you that it is Star Trek universe.
Okay. Okay. I'll stop. I'll stop right there. I won't push it any further. Um, Before I bring David on, I know you did some advanced screenings. Um,
We haven't been able to get into many of them lately, but we did do one that was really good here recently.
which one was that?
That was Bad Boys.
Okay.
We got into the screening for that one, and then we went and saw it again because we had already bought tickets for opening night, and we were able to
Right.
get screening, but instead of canceling, we just went again because I thought it was great. I thought it
Okay.
was abs and
Didn't
see,
you do Godzilla too?
I didn't. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
And I could be forgetting some because, the way my memory is
I
set
know
up.
you did. You did a lot of screenings, and that's why I'm like, did I go to the movies? Because the
I
only
don't
two
know.
that I can remember right now is Godzilla, and Kong, and then the one I just recently did was the Inside Out 2, which
Yeah,
was
I'll have
I
to
was
look.
oh okay, you're still there. I was
Yeah,
very
you
impressed with
froze
that one
for a second.
because that was good for adolescents to
Hmm.
where it really shows anxiety. I think a lot of parents should take their children to that one because that will definitely help dealing with, oh my God, am I going to be popular in high school? The anxiety, try not to really care, and then you're shy, and then you're trying just to be all in the know, and it was great. All the emotions, all of the new emotions was excellent, and the kids enjoyed it. They really did.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna like it. And of course, again, that's on my list to cosplay because I want to, cosplay different ones. I
Hmm.
just don't want to paint my face. I just stain myself. Like, trying to take this paint off is just, I just got to find better paints and black owned. That's what I'm trying to do now. Just trying to stick with a lot of black owned businesses. But what I want to do is bring out our little special guest, which is David the Smiley. And he is an amazing cosplayer that I had the pleasure of running into last year at Palooza. He was dressed as Shuri, and I was in my Dora Milaje.
Oh,
And from there, people just gravitated to us. So he was the movie Shuri. My other girlfriend was the comic book Shuri, and I was the Dora Milaje, and we just stayed together. And then we had our other two girlfriends who
They were
did
both one
Namor
did
and Gamora.
Namora. Yeah, Namor and Namora.
okay. So it was Wakanda Forever.
It was. It was Wakanda forever, and we couldn't move. Every time we tried to move, people were taking pictures. It was great. It was such a great time. Um,
And what also helped is that they also had stars from the movie there too. They had
which
Tanaka
made me
Herta.
come. Which that's the only reason why it took, because the last time I was there it was 2019, and it was Game of Thrones, and I had a horrible experience. I paid VIP, and I was like, I am not coming back. And my boy Aqua Poppy was there, and that's what made me come because I needed to see him, and he loved our cosplays. He just loved all of our cosplays. He really did. David,
Yes.
you as an amazing cosplayer in your Frozo,
Frozone.
Frozone.
Frozone, Frozone. Um, dude, when did you get into cosplay?
Well, it's funny you asked that. I was in college when all of this started. And during that time, I never actually got to experience Halloween. So my thing was is that I wanted to, dress as like different characters. The issue is that a lot of the characters that I wanted to dress as, you couldn't find them anywhere. So I was like, okay, so if I can't find them here, then let me look here, or like let me see where I can like dress as this character. And that's really how it all got started. Is I never got to enjoy Halloween when I was younger. So I started
Okay,
in
so were you sticking to only Black characters, or at that point you didn't care?
At that point I didn't care. I wanted my favorites. So actually, and this is, you know me, you know how I am. So this started as Halloween being like, I always debuted 2 costumes. So to make my debut into cosplay, before I even knew it was a thing, I didn't know cosplay. I didn't know there was like a term for that. I didn't know what it was called. I was just doing something. But I dressed as Batman Beyond, which was one of my favorite Batmans, Terry McGinnis. And the second one was a group effort. We ended up doing like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that's how this all kind of started. Is I did those 2. Then the following Halloween, I did another 2. The one after that, I did another 2, and still learning how to put the costumes like together.
Okay, so you're buying and making. So you started out with just buying at first, and then you gravitated to making, or upgraded to.
So here's my thing: is one, getting stuff custom made. That's where we really actually started. Stuff was custom made. My Batman Beyond and the Pink Power Ranger one, custom made. So that was like my first like introduction to it. The following year, I was like, okay, let me find something that I can actually do, maybe like kind of modify or whatever. So I had to do a lot of like buying, but also modifying stuff as well. Other ones, as I got more into it, I was better at putting outfits together because I'm like, okay, I need this element, I need this element, I need this element, because there's some things that, yeah, this is a costume, but it looks horrible. So let me do my own and let me put this outfit together. So it's like, all right, I need like all black, like bodysuit. Now I have to go find props. I need to go find prop guns. I need to go find what's his face, knee pads, elbow pads,
Mhm.
like the fake bullets that can just like go around like your chest and everything, like
Yep.
stuff like that. That's when I started getting more into like having props with the cosplays and having it presented very well.
Okay, so dealing with your props, um, did you find like a 3D printer, uh, or you're still hunting, or you're still like, I have a couple of 3D printer people, but
Mhm.
how do you deal with your 3D prints?
Okay, so I actually don't do 3D prints.
Okay,
But as of
3D.
recent, I feel like I've gotten a little better with my props. My biggest prop that I've made is for the cosplay that I'm known for the most, which is my Static Shock cosplay. And
Okay.
so I actually made his flying disc. And the first time I did it, I actually found like this like kind of big circle, like I guess you could say like something for like a reef, but it was like foam, hard foam. And so I had to like wrap the lights around that. And then I actually had the idea of like putting cotton around it. So whenever it glowed, like it would just bounce off the cotton, make like this really kind of pretty light. And then I had to use cardboard to just kind of put up top for like the fine disc, and again making it look kind of like that. That was the first one. Second one, we got a little better. Kind of same base, except I had to, in order to stop the cotton from falling off, I had to wrap it up, like wrap it around. And then also using a wooden base for the actual disc part. So when I stand on it, it's gonna sink into the middle of it. I can actually stand on it. Other people could actually stand on it and it can actually take the weight, and I could do much better posing with that.
Okay, so you're saying that is the one that you're known for. What are your top, because I know you have several cosplays. What are your top 3 favorites? And if you have more than 3, you can tell me. But what are your top 3 that one that you're known for and that is your favorite?
Okay, so I want to say there are probably about 6 that are like my favorites, but also these 6 are some of the ones that I'm known for the most. Definitely Static Shock is like all-time classic golden boy. You will never not see me at a convention, not just at some point in time. Because people go crazy when they see Static, and because I do like the voice of the character as well, that also like kind of sets it off like even more. So
okay,
Static,
and you do voice acting too, so that's what helps.
yes. Oh well, again, a quick introduction to me, people. Hi there, my name is David the Smiley. I am an actor, cosplayer, model, voice actor, Q&A host, panelist, podcaster, and drag entertainer. So now that we got that out the way, let me switch back to what we were answering the original question. So Static Shock, definitely. One of my other ones I would say is a Pokemon character from an older game on the GameCube, for that matter. The character's name is Mirror B, and so this character is in like a purple suit. And like he has like this afro that's about like this big, and it's one side, like this side is red and then this side is white, sunglasses, and I wear these 5-inch platform heels. And so when I tell you I have to like strut in those heels, I strut in those heels the entire time. I'm glad those shoes, I've broken them in, but let's just say when it's time to take them off, it's time to take them off. Because, oh my God.
Because your feet, you ain't got to say nothing to me. I've learned the hard way about shoes. I've learned the hard way. So, what is that beeping?
And then I kind of hear that too. I kind of hear it's not mine. It's not mine. And then what's his face? One of my girl. I know you ain't got ghosts, like stuff opening up and everything.
No, that's my husband.
Okay. But all right, so on to like the other ones. One of my favorites, and this is when I started getting more into drag cosplay, was Juana Man. Juana Man is probably one of the most like, you haven't seen this, and so whenever you see this character, you're like, wait, I know this character. I remember this movie. I remember everything about this movie. Juana Man is one of those characters that are like that. And I love it to death. I really do. Juana's like, that movie was just funny to me. It was so funny. And I'm like, I've never seen anyone cosplay this character. I've never seen a drag queen do this character like in a number. Let me be the first. Or let me be one that like does it and make it memorable for people. So that's another one. Shuri is definitely one of my favorites. And that is because I was very nervous bringing that out to a convention. That was one of the first time I went and like drag cosplay at a convention. And so I was like, okay, I didn't even do like the fake butt pads, but I did do like the fake boobs for me. And
wait, so that was the first time that you gender bend to cosplay?
No. Yes, no. No. That was the first time I went to a convention with that.
Okay, so didn't you, one of your Sailor Moon? I saw a Sailor Moon that you did that was amazing.
Yeah, Sailor Venus. I did that one.
Sailor Venus. Okay, yes.
But I haven't taken that to a convention. That was
Oh,
the first one I
convention.
had ever taken to a convention. But also the
Okay.
first time I debuted that character as well. Because I think I debuted Shuri that month. And I was just like, I want to take this there because of the actors that were there. So I'm like, I have to take this there. And I had been practicing my voice. So whenever I would introduce myself to people, they would just kind of be like, "Oh, you're like the real deal." Like, because the way that I do it is just kind of like a basic introduction, and I keep the voice, especially for the kids. I would have to stay in character the entire time. So I would literally just switch and be like, "Greetings, I'm Shuri, the Queen of Wakanda and the Black Panther. So very nice to meet you, Simone, Teresa."
I was going to ask you to do it, and I didn't even have to ask.
I mean, I'll do it. I always. And then same for like when I do Static Shock, like people kind of go crazy with that too because I do the voice pretty well. The name Static Shock. I'll put a shock to your system. And that's kind of like that go-to line for people. It's like if you can do that line, you're like, oh, you're believable.
Right.
So those are definitely like at least like the top 4. Honorable mentions definitely have to be, and Simone, you've seen this in person.
I'm surprised that wasn't number 3. I'm surprised that wasn't in the top 3. I really am.
Do you know how many cosplays I have? Like, I have roughly, and this is only including the ones that I have been in pictures on, 26 different cosplays. And that is because I did 13 new ones last year, Frozone being in the 13 for sure. And then number 6, now, because I just every cosplay I do, I love them. I want y'all to know that I love every one of my cosplays. If I had to really, really choose, because number 6 has to be a tie, it's going to be this werewolf, kind of Michael Jackson werewolf that I did.
Yes.
And it wasn't the way that I wanted it to, because that was my first time wearing contact lenses, and oh my god, my eyes were just like killing me, and I couldn't get my teeth like in there because that little sticky like wax, whatever it is that comes with it, wasn't doing right. And so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just go without the teeth, but I'm just still have the contact lenses and like have my look. And then my real like first gender bend was Emma Frost. She's up there too, and that.
Yes,
And
I like
Emma
that
Frost,
one too.
I get a lot of looks when I walk out in that costume. I actually did that just recently. I went to a charity event, and they were like, hey, we're doing a charity auction, so it's kind of like come out like as best as you can that would be like something that, you know, would get people to bid on you. And I'm like, okay, like, so let me think sexy. Like, Emma Frost is like sexy and she's stylish too. So I'm like, you know what? I can do this. Like Emma Frost. Oh yeah. With my white cloak and everything. Yes. And I also love that after the event, I went out and the cloak was just like, it was real windy that day. And like the cloak was just blowing. And I'm like, yes, this is it.
Perfect
right
photo op.
Yeah. Oh my God. It really was, but by the time it was like blowing like that and everything, like the sun had already set. So those would definitely be like some of my top favorites so far. But I love all of my cosplays equally. I really, really do.
Now there's some where you just took pictures, and because you're not on Twitter, you didn't see that one of them went viral. And it was the one
oh man,
Fox.
Man, okay, so and I wanted to bring that one up too, but I'm like, let me think. So I was in San Antonio. I was at a gas. Let me tell you how random this was. I was at a gas station, and I'm like, okay, let me look around. I was in cosplay. I came from another convention called NostalgiaCon, and so I'm like, okay, let me get my gas. Let me get something to drink for the road trip back to Houston. I'll be fine. So a guy walks up, and we start talking about cosplay and everything. And so he tells me, I start showing him like all the different cosplays to do, and he's like, wait. I've seen that photo. He's like, that was you. I'm like, yeah, this was me. Like, this is my cosplay. He's like, dude, I saw that like trending all on Twitter and everything. And I was like, wait, what? What? I don't have a Twitter. How?
Oh, my laptop's dying. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I just found you on Instagram and followed you. So as you were going through your costumes, I was trying to find them on their Instagram feed.
Oh, you're gonna have to go through like a lot of them. I need to do another JoJo pose video because I did it for my first 10 cosplays, and now I need to do it for like the last 10 that I did within like this to make it 10. But I'm at like 26. There's still more. Actually, no, I'm not at 26. I'm at 27. Y'all, I lied. I'm sorry. I forgot. That's my bad. So 27 cosplays, and I still have stuff sitting in the closet I haven't done yet. But most certainly, yeah, you're gonna have to like sift through a lot to even see them all. But you're gonna have to go back to the beginning too, all the way to like the very end. Because when I started my Instagram, I started showing the first ones that I had before I started going into all of the new ones I had.
Okay. I can do that. Go back to the beginning.
Okay, yes. Oh, computer was dying.
And so, but that, yeah, like I have plenty of cosplay characters, and it keeps me creative, but also as an actor, each character, like I have to portray and embody that character. Like each one is different, so I have to embody them every time. And for people who are diehard fans, it's like making sure I embody the character on a dime, because I could literally sit here and just like be drinking a bottle of water. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, you're my favorite like character.
So when you choose your characters and you're at the con, do you get, I don't want to say, I don't know the right words, but any blowback? How do you deal with the negativity? How do you deal with that?
So I actually haven't dealt with any negativity from any of the characters I've cosplayed. Not real negativity. It was in one Facebook group that I was in, and I think it was a Black cosplay Facebook group or something like that. I can't remember which one, but it was like just a different one. But I think they were like really nerdy focused. And so one of the characters I had put in there was Juana Man. And so someone had the question of like, hey, is this like PC to like be showing this now? Because of like the day and age we're in. And first and foremost, I am a part of the LGBT community myself. And so I find it very like entertaining. I'm not worried about political correctness. I am worried about, is this character something that people have seen? And it's also giving me a challenge to bring a character to life. So I've never, again, dealt with any negative feedback. And for that one instance, it really actually fizzled itself out. It really didn't even get the chance to like start. It just kind of like happened, and then it just stopped. And then everything else like afterwards were just like positive comments, because everyone was like, oh my God, you did not just like do this.
Okay, so, and I know that you said that you have done drag. Have you done your cosplays in drag? I know the answer to that, but I want you to Explain to everyone how you just fucking drop the mic. Basically.
Okay, so again, last year I challenged myself to, actually it was the year before last. So the only reason I started doing drag cosplay was really because, no, not year before last. It was, oh my god, I'm losing time. We're in 24, it was in 22 when I started the drag cosplay, and it was someone just asked me, someone was like, you need to challenge yourself a little more, try something else. And I'm like, okay, I'll try the drag cosplay. And then maybe the 2 years after that was the challenge I had given myself. Before the end of 2022, I'd given myself the challenge for 2023. Your goal is to have a cosplay for each month of the year. And you're also to like basically get yourself, build your portfolio up a lot more. And I'm just like, okay, bet, I got this. So we get to Joanna Man. Joanna Man was the first drag cosplay I did that I went and performed in. And so, and this, Teresa, you can actually find on my Instagram. I actually need to post it on my YouTube too, but you can find this on my Instagram. And what you'll see is me performing as Joanna Man. I did my own like little introduction mix to the character too. And so I performed the song by Missy Elliott, and it's called Shake Your Pom Pom. And so like I get ready, like I go out to the stage, and what actually happens is I start out dribbling the basketball in and everything and just kind of do like a smile. And then in my introduction, I say, Joanna isn't going to just teach you how to control a ball. She's going to teach you how to shake that pom pom. And so I switch from the ball to the pom poms, and then I go, and then I just start dancing like crazy for the introduction. And then, but people liked seeing that. Actually, I still get people asking, when are you going to bring back Joanna Man to the stage here? Because we don't see anyone doing these characters. And the last character I did, people weren't expecting, and I had actually did it. I revealed it perfectly because I didn't do the reveal before the event. I did the reveal after I did the event because I'm like, y'all come out, come see me at the show, and if you want to see like the new cosplay that I'm doing, like you definitely want to like come and see the performance, which is how we got Wanda Wayne. And that performance was so much fun. I did my little introduction to it, kind of similar to how they introduced her in Living Color with Jim Carrey and all of them. And the song that I did was the funniest song that I could think of.
But Wanda was just, that's another one that I need to check Twitter and see if that one is trending as well, because your Wanda is just freaking spot on. This is why I say they're not really cosplays. You just did pictures of your cosplays, and then just the Wanda one is the one that you did for your drag competition, but it was just like, oh, let's just play around, like how I'll play around with
I did both of them.
Character.
Both Joanna and Wanda were done for just like kind of competing purposes. Okay. So they were for like a show, an amateur show, but it was just because I was like, all right, people are asking me to do this stuff more and more, so let me give the people what they're asking for.
And that is, dude, you blow my mind when you embody the character. It truly is. And I was trying, here it is. Can you see? Can y'all see?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so the Wanda is just, people are just amazed as what you take. And what I like about you is that you really don't have that much negativity, which I wanted to ask compared to, I don't have that much either, except for age, size, and anime stuff. And
Hmm.
it's not that, but you're embraced. People embrace you because the characters that you choose are loved. I mean, that other character that you did for Kamapalooza, apparently everybody was like, I just finished watching the show, and that's the only thing that they can watch in the Hilton because it was on rerun, so they was just watching it over and over again and then just enjoying that character. So you embrace your characters, and you just have people just loving you, and you just have fun. And that's how I think cosplay should be. It should be fun, and you bring people into your reality, and just for a fun short time, it they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves, and that's what I like. Now, is that the same feeling that you have when you do drag, when you do your drag
Yes,
competition?
I
It's
actually do. Actually, so it's funny because one queen, she was actually like a special guest at the show, at the competition. And again, like I say, it's the amateur thing. So it's not even that big, but at the same time, it's a learning experience for me. Kennedy Davenport, she was there. She's a drag queen as well, big time, big name. And
yes.
so I was there just kind of like chatting with a friend of mine, and I wasn't in a different costume. I was in my Joanna Man costume because I didn't bring like a different one. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be here because I'm also kind of running late too. So she saw my Joanna Man, and what I ended up finding out later is that she had told someone, she was like, who is this? Because I want to see them perform. And
Nice.
she did see the performance because she was gonna go right after her performance. She was gonna go and change, but she ended up waiting to watch my performance. And she later on we actually chatted, and she gave me an evaluation of like how I did, because she was like, this is, you can do so much more, because the way that you did this one, you had a beginning, a middle, and end. It was polished. And I have a very bad habit of doing this, and that's just because years and years and years of like the traumas of holding myself back, because like I feel like if I go like full on all out, that like people are just going to be like, oh, like this isn't like like where are you doing this, like what made you come up with this, versus where if I actually do kind of go all out and like kind of give it my all, people would probably not have that reaction. They'd just be like, this is on the level of David the Smiley. This is the person that like no one else can do but him. And so, like I said, I do embody my characters. I do put on that full persona whenever I am any of my cosplay characters, wherever I'm performing, whether I'm not in cosplay and I'm just acting or doing whatever. Like I do try to embody all of that, and it gets the positive reactions, which is what I'm thankful for, because sometimes I don't think I'll get those reactions. Not like immediately. It could just be like, oh, well, he did this, but my other friend like does it a little better. And I'm like, that's okay.
Okay, so what are your future plans? Because I know you have your hands are in different pots. You're all over the place. You're not just a cosplayer. So what are for the rest of this year? Do you have any more cons planned, and any new characters that you can tell us, or they're a surprise? And then to add on to that, what are events that you're dealing with?
All right. So I have multiple questions. So first and foremost, I cannot, I because I like to give a surprise,
That's what,
like
and that's fine. That's fine. So you have cosplays that are coming that are
uh-huh.
surprises. Okay, that
Yes.
and I knew I expected that from you, that you don't want to give, you want us to be surprised.
And I kind of want to give you one, and that's only because like one of my coworkers, like she knows like cosplay, and so I've told her, I'm like, I want to do this one so bad, and I actually, when I do this one, I actually have to do skits for this character, and the longer I sit on it, the longer I'm like, I want to do more to this skit, but that means I have to like portray 3 different people for just like this one thing. So almost making a short film on my own. So have y'all heard of this movie called A Low Down Dirty Shame?
No, you're not.
So if you got it from that, then I'm not gonna say anything else. You know when I'm gonna ask you, when
The
was
shoes?
the one?
The shoes?
When, he didn't have shoes.
Okay, then that's the wrong one, because I'm thinking of the shoes. Glass shoes. Okay, no, that was the wrong one.
Oh no, he didn't. Miss Peaches.
Okay. So, okay, no more.
I was like, I
I,
hope you
When,
got that.
no, I'll have to research because I don't know the movie that well.
It's with Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Okay.
That's why I know it's going to be good. Because that's why I know it's going to be good. And when is this debut?
I haven't set a debut for it yet because,
But it's going to be in 2024.
Yes, it'll be this year. I put it off for quite some time. And that's on me. I have low-key put it off for some time. I hate that I put it off for some time, but it's just budgeting for cosplay, because I'm not saying I messed up. What I'm saying is that last year, when I did these 13 costumes for last year, I said, screw a budget and go off, which I did. I really, really did. You were witness to it. I can't do it like that no more. that was a lot of money. But
yes, this is an expensive habit. This is an expensive hobby. It really is.
Look, and I told, it was like at an old job of mine, I told them, I'm like, y'all, look here, I need a raise because I need y'all to understand I can't afford my hobby like this no more. And they like, David, what hobby, what habit you got? And I'm like, my costumes are like literally like that's it. But and then also I'm to keep on track. So that was one for conventions, upcoming places I'll be at. So, and I haven't even made this announcement yet, which is also I'm very excited to make. And if I go in chronological order, I'm gonna try and go to what's his face, Tokyo X, which is this weekend. I said try because your boy's tired. Your boy doesn't get a break. He is a one-man show and does it eloquently, but your boy's tired. I want to try and go to Tokyo X. That's in June. July, I already have my pass for Delta H Con. I bought it last year, so I'm set.
Okay. I might see you there. That's a one that I might do. That's on my maybe to go, but it's only going to be one day.
August is a special announcement because I will be going to Anime Matsuri, and I will actually be doing a panel there too.
Cool.
And so this panel will be on Black representation in the anime and manga world, which it's titled Black Animeverse.
Okay. That I'm going to need you to record so that we can see that. Anime Matsuri is one that I just can't deal with anymore. That's a whole long story. I just can't. it's just not for me anymore. I might do it maybe another time that
Uh-huh.
you're there. We might collab and do something, but as of right now, I had to move that off my list.
Right.
So are
Because I
those
just started
all
getting
local
into
to?
anime, and the community is not very nice. Um, I didn't have any problems so far when I posted. I don't want to say it's anime, but when I posted my Ang, um, and then even when I did my Boma, I didn't have any problems with those. But
Mm-hmm.
the I know me, and
Yeah.
I just need to do it baby steps.
And
To
see, I've gotten more into, I've been getting, this year my goal was to do more anime related cosplays. And so as far as like the anime characters I've done, Deku from My Hero Academia, Sailor Venus from, Sailor Moon, um Ukiora from Bleach, and those are actually some of my top watch like animes, but like not everything that I've watched either. And those are just some of the top 3 anime related cosplays I've done, but I want to do so much more. And I want to say a lot of my cosplay, how I base it off of, is usually on my body type. And that's just because I don't feel like I can do like those big manly man jacked characters. Like you won't see me dressed as Gaston because I don't have like hair on my chest like that. Like I can't. I probably could like put an apple right here and then just like crush it, but no, and I'm not gonna bust out in this song because no one has chest hair like Gaston. I can't do that. I'm not gonna sit here going through the convention and everything like that. And also chasing a girl that doesn't want me either. Like I'm not gonna chase nobody like that. Like you look, you do what you do. And she not worried about you. Um like that's a prime example right there. But also I need to get into more Disney characters too. Simply because I grew up with
the
Disney.
Disney villains, join me in my
I'll do it.
Maleficent
Scar
and
was one
my
of my
Ursula. Join me. We need
Scar
the
was one of my
Disney.
favorites.
Okay, I
So
need some
I
Disney
would love
villains.
to probably do a Scar for sure, especially after like I play video games. So like Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite game series, and you see a lot of the Disney villains there too. So definitely like something I would look into is probably finding a villain that I could like pull off. A friend of mine, her name is Coffee the Cosplayer, does this
Yes,
amazing
yes.
Scar. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, that kind of has deterred me from wanting to do Scar because I'm like, she did that so
Yeah, I
well.
do edit
I mean,
her Scar because I did Mufasa. I did Mufasa and Scar, and it was that ring light thing, and I did that for my nephew because he got my nephew, my nephew, and he was like, "Oh, I need you to do this, Auntie Monique." So I did it for him, and when I saw her Scar, I was like, "Oh, can I do it your Scar with my Mufasa?" So we did that one. She's amazing. I love her. She's an amazing cosplayer. And yeah, we
yeah.
need to collab to do something Disney. We definitely need to collab to do
Well, wait. Hold on. Like the Incredibles is Pixar. I have to remember that. It's not Disney. The Incredibles is Pixar.
yeah, that's Pixar.
I do believe so. But I did meet this like my first year going to Comic Palooza. I did meet this wonderful cosplayer who was dressed as Princess Tiana, and it would, you remember the whole somebody has to chase me down to get a photo and everything. I can't remember. I don't know if she was. I think she was like taking like a sip of water or something like that, and she saw me, and she's like, "Wait, Static, wait!" Well, she's just like kind of frantically getting me down, and she's like, "Wait, can I get a photo with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, Princess Tiana, yes, I would love to get a photo with you." No, she
What
was sexy.
other things that you have in the works, or did you finish with the
No, I haven't
what you?
finished because
Oh,
one other
okay,
thing. I mean, because
sir.
you
You
know,
are okay. When you gonna
because
have time to do all of this?
well,
When you gonna sleep?
what is that?
Yeah, okay. Pass out and see what happened. Now I have to keep checking on you. Come
Look,
on
because
now.
as soon as I get off of this interview, y'all know what I'm gonna do? I gotta go make dinner. And because I like gotta make sure like the food don't go bad and everything, I gotta make me some spaghetti for dinner and garlic bread.
Spaghetti is easy. That's fine. That
Yeah,
is
Mhm.
a
it's not bad.
15-minute meal.
Well,
That's fine.
and that's because actually, because I like to do like the meatballs, like the handmade like meatballs.
Mm,
So
mhm.
I that would take longer, but I think this time I'm gonna be lazy and just put it on my cast iron skillet and just like cook it up as is after I get my seasonings in there and everything. Because I'm like,
Okay, you
this
can be
today is
even
not.
lazier and get some frozen melon balls and just season them. Boil them, season them when you want to be really, really lazy. Because, yeah, I do
Mm-hmm.
that. I do that. But you got to season them up right.
Right. So, and then to also finish the remainder of this question, also I do my own podcast as well. And
Yes.
so I call it Let's Talk. And this podcast is about talking about representation across media. And so when I say across media, I'm not just talking about the internet, social media. I'm talking about on television, like television series, movies, comics, anime, like animated like series and whatnot. And so with all of that being said, like there's so many different things that like people we don't see as like everything out there. Like we see like, oh, the news only has this group
Right.
of people portrayed as this, and
Right.
social media only portrays this group of people as this. But it's like, is this part of the world really like that? Or is this just what we're actually seeing and made to believe? Because there's like they say, there are always two sides to every story. And so like actually my
Right.
first interview was with someone who is Jewish American. And if you didn't know, May is also Jewish American Heritage Month, along with Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And as you all know, this month is June. June is Pride Month as well as with a bunch of other different
Mhm.
celebrations too. So I will actually
Mhm.
be interviewing a local gay business owner here in Texas, Houston, Texas, for that matter. Houston. So I'll be interviewing them, and that'll be on June 22nd. So that is
Okay.
something I have going on. Also, the acting stuff too. Like casting calls, and stuff that I've already been casted for, and then just getting ready to go and work on those projects on set, which I also have to do that same day later on as well. So right after the podcast, I have to be ready to be camera ready like later on that day.
Dude, you are just so amazing. And I'm just so happy that I ran into you last year and just got to know you so much more because you are so amazing. And you're an inspiration. You inspire me for all of the issues that I've been dealing with health wise. Seeing your cosplays have kept me going, as well as other
Really?
people. A lot of people have kept me going. I've been living through you guys, going through all of these cons and conventions, and my girl Teresa, she's out shopping, and I'm like, oh, that's great. That looks good. I mean, she finds these outfits that I don't think that would look good on me, and she loves color. She loves all sorts of different patterns, and I'm like, I wouldn't have even thought about putting all of that stuff together. So it's just living through all of you guys have kept me going, and I just want to say thank you, to the both of you and to all my other friends out there. Thank you guys, because you've kept me going. I love you all. And David, I can't wait to see what you're going to do for the rest of this year. Have you even thought about 2025? Because I've already gotten a con for 2025.
Look here,
I bought
let
my
me
MegaCon ticket. I purchased already, so that's my first con.
I have to get through this year because stuff keeps popping up, and I also need you to understand that you are starting to get into the category of people that are asking me about stuff, and we're not even close there yet. I got people already asking me about Halloween, and I'm like, y'all, I haven't even gotten through like June yet. We haven't even gotten through Pride. And granted, I bet people ask me about like what I'm doing for Pride weekend, like what outfits. Because last year, again, screw the budget, go off. I have a I have a reputation
For Pride. You should.
I have a reputation to maintain. And so I went kind of all out. One of them ended up being kind of like a sexy cosplay as well. And I was just kind of like, okay, I did it. Eyes were like kind of locked on the entire weekend. Everyone loved the outfits. And I'm like, oh, I forget. I messed up. So now, and look, we're in June, 2 like weekends away from Pride weekend. There are 2 Pride weekend celebrations this month here in Houston, but I'm really only going to be able to do the 29th and the weekend of the 29th, and that's just because of scheduling for other stuff. I'm like, y'all got to give me y'all got to give me time to like kind of like get my mind together. I haven't caught up from like these other months and still getting stuff from folks and whatnot. I'm like, it's too much.
Well, yes, you're busy. I already knew what was going to happen for me for this was just it, and maybe I'll sprinkle some stuff in, but Commonpalooza and then my trip to Japan was the 2 biggest things that I had going on for.
Oh Lord, I done already forgot. I'm going to another convention too. NostalgiaCon that's going to be coming here in December. I will be going to that as well. So almost doing the same thing I did last year of like, first it was cosplays, 1 cosplay a month. Now I have at least like 1 convention a month that I'm probably going to be going to. And I'm like, too much.
And is this going to be at George R. Brown, or where's this at?
George R. Brown. It'll be at George R. Brown. I actually went to their first one in San Antonio. They're pretty much a new con. And it was really cool. A lot of cool people there. I met the cast from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Okay. And I also got to meet Walter Jones, the original Black Power Ranger. And sitting right next to him was Jason David Frank's daughter as well. But they had a lot of people there. They had one of the people from Out of the Box. They had a voice actor from Barney actually. A lot of different voice actors. And I'm not sad, but actually went to that con and I won a free pass to go meet the voice actor of Static Shock. And I went dressed as Static. Y'all, when I say I was in tears, because by the time I got there, he was already packing up and going. And I'm just like, but it was, I will say this, is that was the first time I've ever walked up to a celebrity and got starstruck. Because I'll go up and I'll just talk to the celebrities and I'm like, hey, I think y'all, like, I've watched like your stuff and everything. I think you're like super duper cool. He was the only one that actually got starstruck with because he complimented the Static costume. And I was like, I can't say anything. Why can't I actually say anything? I'm like, thank you, but just crap. I'm like, I respect your time, you're leaving and everything, but just I can't say anything right now. Oh man. Wait, hold on. No. So apparently Pixar is a part of Disney. Someone mentioned that.
I thought so.
Okay, so I do have a Disney character. Yes. Finally. Okay, so I'm set.
Yeah,
I know you
I'm,
can watch Pixar movies on on Disney Plus.
yes, and Inside Out too. Because when Disney Plus came on, Disney, I was like, oh, Disney, and then they did the little
And the
Pixar
Pixar, yeah.
things. I was like, okay, Disney has their hand in everything, so it's an affiliation.
So,
It's linked, but it's
but
still Pixar.
yeah, but
Pixar.
so that's pretty much that. Like I have everything kind of somewhat ready to go, but not really. But again, it's just budgeting. I need sponsors, y'all, because cosplay is
Yeah.
like
So if somebody wanted to have you be a cosplay guest out of state, you know, but that's not really paying, but they pay for everything for you to go, but they don't pay you. You're looking for more
I want
sponsorship.
I want people to pay me to like, hey, not necessarily go to this event, but here, we'll give you a grant for like because you're consistently doing cosplay and this money can only be used on cosplay and prop making. And I'm like, I'll take that. If that's the deal, I'll take it.
Right.
Not saying
Okay,
a
so
handout.
no sponsorships with other people to yeah, that's what I'm working on too. So yeah, we can talk off camera dealing with that because I'm trying to work on that too, trying to get some people and do some affiliations with like my girl down in who people just send her stuff. Oh, try this warbler, try this paint, try this mannequin. I was like, oh, okay, that I like that. Can you send me some stuff like that, please?
Uh-huh.
So, which is why I do the TikTok shop and but it's only cosplay related stuff. And then
Yeah.
I do my reviews on those. But we are going into our over our hour.
Oh dear.
We
I'm
always
sorry.
lose track of time. Always, we
Yeah.
always, no matter what we do, we always lose track of time because it's so good. And talking to you is just so amazing. So many, you have so many things that you are doing that we really need to know about. Again, I thank you for joining us and spreading love, joy, just the positivity. I
Mhm.
thank you. I thank you for that. And thank you. As much as I hate anime Matsuri, I am so happy that you have a panel there and that you are spreading positivity for people of color doing anime and letting them know that anime is just not for snows. I have to say
Right.
that politely. it's
And
for people
it's
of
funny you actually mention that. And part of what I'll be talking about at that panel is it actually kind of ties into the panel I gave at Comic Palooza, which was again Black representation in comics. But I talk about the art and how the art is a representation of this specific ethnicity. Because you do have to understand one thing is that it's not necessarily American targeted, it's Japanese targeted. So it's kind of like, okay, this is what, say, a Japanese creator or artist might see this particular person is or how they might look. Because a lot of, especially with a lot of the characters, and I talk about this in my other one too, is how Black hairstyles are very hard to like
Mhm.
kind of draw and
Mhm.
illustrate. And so one thing is you only have like certain looks. You don't have like the braids, the dreadlocks. You don't have like the kind of kinky curls, twists, everything like that. You don't have any of that. It's just like straight hair usually, and it's kind of done up a certain way. Or you might see like an afro or something like that, or just some kind of like weird design where it's just like, do we really wear that, or is it just okay? But look, the hairstyles again. Hair is a part of like Black identity, Black culture. So you
Definitely.
see, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I used to be on the opposite side of like, especially when I was in high school, because high school, especially high school, middle school, because ill girls, whatever. Um, And so whenever like they would come back to school and they have like the wigs done and or like they come their hair done or the wigs and whatnot, and it's just like, you know what, that ain't your hair. Like that ain't your real hair. Like go on and take that out. You talking about you don't want it to get wet or you don't want to like sweat it out in the gym or everything and like that. Like that ain't even yours. But as a person who owns at least like 20 different wigs right now because of certain cosplays, I am converted. The eyes living for the Lord.
And you are still a baby when it comes to wigs because you only got 20. I have a Christmas bin of wigs.
And so when people ask me, they're like, is that your real hair? Especially when it comes to my Static Shock cosplay, because it looks so realistic to people. I'm like, you know what? I paid for it. So yeah, it's mine. Like it was imported and I paid for it. So it's most certainly mine.
And that's what helps with the cosplays when you make the hair just you try and make it authentic. You try and do it because that's my thing. I'm working with the Acolyte. That's my next one that I'm making. And the braids, I gotta, it's like I can't find it, so I have to make it. And
right,
it's hard. It's hard. But all right, guys. So before we start talking about something else, because we can do that. We can. I want to say thank you again to David the Smiley for joining us, and my Omega level threat friend Teresa. Continue to shop, my girl, and please, when you
don't encourage me.
I have to encourage you because that's the only way that I can do it and not get in trouble. I can blame you, but that's the way that we do. That's the way that we do. Thank you guys.
Nice to meet you, David.
For joining us.
It was very nice to meet you. And again, thank you both so much for having me here this evening. I really appreciate it. And I definitely enjoyed every moment that we had here tonight. So again, thank you so much for inviting me here as well.
Thank you guys. And we'll talk to you guys next month. See you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will. So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Now work out for all the locals, school will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. We will.